something's hurting you, and it's hurting you bad, and you're sitting in your chair and you feel like you have an ice pick, and that's the sensation. I felt like it was an ice pick in my back for over a year. And then suddenly, there was hope. 3 years ago, I was on an exercise bike, and I suddenly felt like somebody was putting a pitchfork in my spine. I mean, it was instantaneous, and it just felt like something just ripped in my body. And that's where the odyssey started. I saw 9 back surgeons, both orthopedic and neurological, and I got 5 different opinions on what's wrong with my back. If you have 5 different diagnoses, you don't do anything. And so I'm living with this, and of course the doctors ranged from giving me possible treatment, everything to it's too dangerous, live with it, and we're not sure what you have, to one doctor, I swear I could think he was ready to wheel me into the next room and then do a double fusion. So I started doing more and more research, and I went to a total of 16 doctors. I went to every ologist other than gynecologist, and no one can figure this thing out. I even went to a psychiatrist. They said to see if it's psychosomatic, which was dismissed after 2 sessions. No, I looked at your x-ray. Your back looks like Swiss cheese. In the meantime, I'm working and you're just miserable. And then 2 of the surgeons who were more conservative said, why don't you try PRP? And I read some articles, and I saw the only study on it was written by Dr. Lutz in conjunction with other doctors. And the more I read up on it, I was fascinated by it because I had cortisone, I've had everything, every type of serum injected into my body, in my back and into my hips and into my knees. But this is your own body. You're curing yourself with your own platelets. Dr. Lutz, the first time he saw me, he scratched my arm. Said, you see that scratch? You form bleeds, you get a scab falls off, you get the pink skin. Where does the pink skin come from? I said, how do I know? He said, platelets regenerate tissue. So he says there's no blood flow within your spine. So all I'm going to do is take the platelets out of your arm. I'm going to put you to sleep. It can be painful. And as Dr. Lutz explained to me, the goal is to put platelets into these tears where there is no blood flow, and with the idea to heal it. I was just fascinated by the idea of your own blood healing your body. First it didn't make sense, but then it made all the sense in the world. It's like having a wound, except it's not on your arm. The wound is inside your spine. Let's try it. I had on my back a series of 3 injections over a period of a year, which was really the max he wanted to do. And I can tell you right now, I'm looking into this camera, right at this very minute, I am pain-free. The last time I saw him was a week ago, and he showed me my MRI a year ago. Well, I had a flat disc. It was like a flat tire, he called it. And now for the first time, I had half a flat tire. You can see this white mass forming in there. He says you have half of a flat tire. So, and your disc is now elevated, where before it was just basically pancaked. To actually find the cure to this disease without having to take the primitive treatment. It is primitive. I looked into it. To tack 2 discs with all these bolts and screws, and everybody I've met, not everybody, but many people I've met with multiple fusion surgeries, which was the only other option. And everybody talk, yeah, my second operation, I had the L5. My third, I had the L3 because it was too much pressure from the other disc. And I sit with these people and I started to perspire because I said, oh my God, these people have had 3 or 4 back operations. So this was like manna from heaven. I'm pain-free all the time now. I turn the wrong way, I feel a twinge. So he has me on a walking program. It started with just walking 3 or 4 or 5 blocks, which I couldn't do previously. I'm now up to 4 miles. I might walk outside with you guys, so I only did 3 miles today. But then after 3 miles on the pavement, then I started to do it in Central Park. Now you're walking up the hills. It's harder. I wake up in the morning a little stiff. But I got my whole new routine of exercises that I have to do where I stretch my back and everything like that. And then I go to work and I walk at 3 miles an hour, 3.3, 3.4. And once you get up to 4, it's a slight jog, so I'm doing a good walk. And now that I'm doing hills, I'm starting to get the real aerobic effect of pumping my arms and feeling the blood. And I walked this morning and I came back and I was all sweated up, and for the first time in 3 years I'm actually getting sweated up and have to take a shower. And it feels good. I mean, I didn't love exercise, but the feeling at the end endorphins, you let out the release, and then and I sleep better. I think this message has to get out there to other people. I felt like an invalid for 2 years. And then suddenly this miracle worker comes along who believes in something with a great passion. Candidly, Dr. Lutz changed my life, saved my life.